We spent many a times. I still remember when he was at Camden County, and we was both working at Bancroft together overnight. And he was like, yo, man, I got a chance to go to Rutgers or UPenn. I said, well, what are you talking about? You gotta go to UPenn, you gotta aim for the highest of all high. And when you do, and you get amongst those things, like, you'll maintain. I'm like, you from the East, bro. Like, you're going to eventually figure it out. And so he did. And he continued to charter his path and do many different things. And now to see him take this next step, it's my job to support him and make sure that, he continues on after this, right? This is one stepping stone into something greater. So, we appreciate everybody, being here, coming out, and support.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you all. Man, it's been a long day, a long week for me. It's 4 days to the big day, and I first want to just, thank God, that I'm in this position to even, be able to have the support, to run for office. This was not an individual effort. I've gotten support, most importantly, from this city, from everywhere, not just East Camden. I've received support from people back home in, California, who I went to school with, New York, DC, and that's what it's about with me. Everything I've done for the past 5 years has been about Camden. Everywhere I went, it's been about Camden. I stayed connected to my roots. And I just want y'all to know that this is not me running for office, this is a movement. My whole intention was to get the young professional, the young millennial in Camden to get politically engaged. And something that stuck out to me, and one of the primary reasons why I decided to do this, is that at 29 years old, I thought about last year's mayoral election. In East Camden, 29.9% of the population voted in last year's primary. That's unacceptable. In 2017, this is not 1960. And that was something that I really pondered with, like, man, is our people just that disengaged, or is the leadership not engaging them? Because somewhere there's a disconnect. And I felt like me, as a young man who's been speaking in the city, going around, sharing my testimony and inspiring young people, that I could be the one to, increase that civic engagement. And the biggest thing I learned, in the White House, people always ask me what was the, best experience I had, or what did I learn? The biggest thing I learned is that the power of the people and civic engagement is the most important thing that we all have, y'all. Because, I'm sorry about that. Because, I've engaged so many different types of people on this journey as I'm walking these streets out East Camden, from a homeless person to the smoker to anybody. We like to put labels and judge people, but one thing we all got in common, we all have the right to exercise that vote. So I don't overlook anybody, I don't disown anybody, because there's people right now who are unemployed, who are on welfare, and all the stigmas that people, put on folks in our community, and they've embraced me with open arms. And they're just as important as anybody else, because their voices need to be heard, their concerns matter. And that's what I'm about. I'm about collectivity, I'm about community. I was born and raised in East Camden, like everyone mentioned. I went to public schools in East Camden my entire life. So, that's the product that I am. I'm a product of Camden schools. So if you're an educator in Camden, feel good about your work. Because, my mistakes in school wasn't due to my teachers. I didn't have bad teachers. It was more a result of my environment and peer pressure and the lack of opportunity. And I think that politics offers the opportunity for folks to be able to influence policies that can create opportunities. And I want to create opportunities for young men who are just like me, And finally, I just want you all to know that this election is not about winning or losing. We won already. It's a win-win. The objective is for us to get out here, encourage our people to vote, and include everybody. We need a more inclusive government in Camden. We need more than 29% of people voting, more like 80, because every vote counts. And as we start to see this tide change and civic engagement increase, we'll start to see some of the things that we want in our community, y'all, because we are the power, people are the power, and it's Prailow for the people. So vote next Tuesday, June 5th. I am in column 9 on the Democratic ballot. It's Rashawn Prailow, y'all, and thank y'all so much for coming out. I love y'all.
Rashawn Prailow.